how to get more Facebook fans with the like box. Most practice websites have an icon with a link that sends their customers to their corresponding page in Facebook. But if you think about it, why would you want to send your traffic to Facebook? Your patients are probably already spending the majority of their internet time on Facebook, and they took a short break from it to come to your website. So why are you sending them straight back? You want to capture the attention of the new visitor on your website. That's what the like box is going to do for you. Here's what's cool about the like box. You can capture the Facebook like, and they never leave your site. And the next time they do jump on Facebook, they'll likely start to see your posts in their newsfeed. For those of you who are not familiar with the Facebook like box, it looks like this or this. There's a couple of different stylistic options, but basically it's just a box you put on your website so that when people are there, they can also click the like button and become an instant fan of your Facebook page. We always tell our clients that the most valuable thing about a Facebook like box on your website is that you're going to capture fans that are a warm audience. If they're reading your blog posts, checking out your about page, maybe checking out some of your products on your website, then you definitely want to stay in touch with them. It's also very important to have a schedule an appointment now button, but if they're not looking to book an appointment immediately, you want them to become your Facebook fan because, as I mentioned, they're going to start seeing you in their newsfeed and getting that free added value directly from you about preventive eye health care. So when they eventually get that communication about booking their annual exam, you'll already be on their radar, you'll be at the top of mind. And because you provided them with all this great content throughout the year, they'll trust you as a reliable source of information. So when you tell them they need to book their appointment for their own good, they'll believe you. Do you currently have a system in place to capture potential patients who have shown interest in your practice but are not looking to book an appointment immediately? That's really important. That's going to make a huge, huge difference when you're trying to get these new patients in your door. Here's something else that's really cool. Let's pretend that I'm not a fan of your Facebook page and I go to your website and you have a like box there on your website like these. What I will see is if any of my friends have already liked your page, I'm going to see their pictures, their faces under the like button in your like box. Basically, Facebook's telling me, hey, John, Sally, and Sue, your friends have already liked this Facebook page. It's all about social proof. I think, oh, so if John, Sally, and Sue have liked that page and they're my friends, I'll probably like that page too, so I might as well click it too. It doesn't stop at just familiar faces. There's that social proof involved when you add any real people. If someone comes to your website and none of their friends are actually fans of your Facebook page yet, then they'll just see pictures of people they don't know. That's fine. It's not a big deal. That works too. It's nice to see pictures of people you know if there's that connection already, but just seeing that real people interact with your Facebook is usually enough. That's really the huge plus to this like box. I usually recommend my clients to add it to the right column on their homepage and as many other pages as possible, usually in a prominent place. And then depending on your schedule an appointment now button, directly underneath it is usually a pretty good spot as well. Just keep in mind your scheduling button should definitely be more prominent than your like box. Building your Facebook community is great and it's wonderful, but that's also, you can actually get those appointments in the end anyway. All right, so let's move on. Before we get into this strategy, we have to talk about that big elephant in the room. So I want you to think about how are you currently using Facebook? Are you just posting on your page and waiting for likes? If that's all you've ever done, unless you have some really hardcore fans that share all of your posts, it's likely that you haven't had much success. I'd be doing you a huge disservice if I didn't actually talk about the fact that organic reach is dramatically down on Facebook. This is very, very true. And we all know that Facebook changes all the time. It's incredibly stressful and frustrating, and there's no guidebook to Facebook. So the challenge is, how do you create a Facebook marketing plan that really works, even though Facebook changes all the time and having your content seen and spread organically is almost impossible now? The reality is that Facebook has confirmed that you have to pay to play. And that's okay. You have to shift your mindset when it comes to Facebook. Look at Facebook as an investment, not just a place to post your content and hope that someone somewhere will pay attention. That's when Facebook starts to work for you much differently than it is working for you now. Truly, and I mean this, when you understand how these simple strategies transform the way you do business on Facebook, you will gladly give Mr. Mark Zuckerberg a couple of bucks every single day while he gives you 5 or 10 times that back. Now that we got rid of that big elephant, let's continue. So let me tell you about this strategy. Yes, it is a paid ad strategy, but the social proof it adds to your practice is so high that you will want to invest in it. We are talking about cents per likes. It's totally worth it. The goal of this strategy is to build your community by getting your own existing patients to give you a like and then using them as bait to attract their family and friends. It comes back to social proof, and most people attract like-minded people. Another thing, a lot of studies have shown that people on Facebook trust and follow the recommendations of their friends much more often than they ever trust or follow the recommendations of a brand. So if I, Breeza from 4PC, say to you, hey, come like the 4PC Facebook page, that could potentially grab your attention if I'm super duper persuasive. Or alternatively, if your really good friend Joanna says, hey, I love this 4PC page on Facebook, come check it out. That's going to mean a lot more to you, and it's going to require a lot less convincing. That's essentially the backbone of the strategy. Create Facebook ads where you're using your existing fan base to attract new fans. To do this, you'll have to create a custom audience using the Power Editor. The Power Editor is a dashboard that is different from the regular Facebook ads dashboard you're probably used to if you've ever used it at all. And the Power Editor is completely free. It allows you to get your ads in the newsfeed, meaning the ads I'm going to teach you how to set up right now will not go in the right column because studies have shown that the ads in the right column have a much lower click-through rate than the ads in the newsfeed. We think it's because those ads in the newsfeed don't really look like ads. They look like posts, so people trust them more and they engage with them more. You can get up to 6 times more engagement if your ad appears in the newsfeed versus if it appears in the right column. So setting up this ad is super simple. In the Power Editor, select Custom Audiences and upload a CSV file of the emails of your patients. These should all be in one column and no header. And then you create a 1200 by 444 pixel image. I would suggest to have a nice smiling face of your doctor or your staff. People generally are attracted to people. And then create a Facebook like campaign. So this ad will only be seen by your patients, and the chances of them giving you a like is much higher because they already know you. So this is essentially how you get your patients to follow you on Facebook. So let's take a look at the ad we have here on the screen. So there's a couple of things I'd like to point out. The like button at the top right-hand corner will allow people to easily like your page without taking them away from what they're currently doing, which is great. It allows you to start sharing your content with them through their newsfeed without actually bothering their current stream of conscience. And now if we were to click on the ad, it should direct them straight to your online web scheduler. The trick to truly capturing online appointments is to make it as easy as possible. Allowing your patients to book online at any time will open up a whole world of possibilities for growth for your practice. Imagine this ad comes up on a potential patient's newsfeed at 9 p.m. They click on that ad and it takes them to a contact page with how to get in touch with you to schedule an appointment the next day during business hours. You would totally cut off all of that momentum. Now they have to either leave a voicemail or wait until tomorrow to call you. And I'm guessing they're probably going to forget to do so. So even if it's an appointment request system where they choose 3 different dates and you'll get back to them, etc., it's still a lot to ask for and will only create more work for your staff who now has to track that person down to confirm. But if you have a true web scheduler, within 2 minutes of clicking on that ad, that person will have a confirmed appointment to see you. That's money in your pocket for a couple of pennies for that ad. That's not too shabby. So unfortunately, as far as setting everything up, I don't have time to get too specific here, but Facebook has a great help section actually that will take you step by step through every process. Um, and then once you get them to follow you on Facebook, you can then run similar like campaigns to get their friends to also like you and follow you on Facebook. And who knows, maybe even book an appointment or two. And remember, the greater your fan base is on Facebook, the greater your social proof and the greater the net you can cast with every ad and even regular posts, leading to more patients and more appointments. And yeah, so let's move on to phase 2. So during our last webinar, Bettina discussed how the key to monetizing your current automated recalls is to add value to your communications. As long as the patients think that they only need to come when they experience blurry vision, your recall efficiency is going to be stuck between 15 to 30%. So along with the strategies we discussed last time, you can help boost your efficiency even more with Facebook. For about $5 a day, you could be adding anywhere from 5 to 10 new likes to your page. Remember, these new likes are mostly patients and family and friends of your patients. So now that they are following you, your posts have the ability to appear in their news feeds, granting you the opportunity to educate your followers and promote your practice. Again, it all comes back to adding value. You want to educate about preventive eye health care and show them you care. Publish a mix of personal and educational posts, always including your web scheduler link. You want to assure your patients that you're capable, caring, and personable, and that they are not just another checkbox on your to-do list. When they receive that message reminding them of their annual exam, you have already provided so much value to them that the chances of your patients scheduling are significantly higher simply because they trust you. So that's how you use Facebook to increase your recall efficiency. Some things to keep in mind. Your post should always direct your patients to your website. The content of the post should be a part of the content page on your website, such as a blog. And the content page should always, always, always have a call to action, such as a book an appointment now button. Again, it's about keeping that momentum going and capturing those patients when they're most interested and engaged in what you have to say. Some little extra tidbits you can take a look at is because Facebook organic reach is down significantly, I would recommend to boost your most popular posts to increase your reach. You already know that those posts work. That's why they're so popular. So you can boost them and boost your posts to reach only your followers and their friends. To find out which of your posts is the most popular, you just go to the Insights page on your Facebook. Another idea is you can create custom audiences based on their interests. So that could be appointment reasons. So if you know they have contacts, just do more contact lenses ads or glaucoma or anything like that. And then you can create posts directed directly towards those audiences. All right, now we get to the money part. So now you have followers and they trust you. It's time to convert that trust into appointments. The key to converting is to make everything as easy as possible, as I mentioned before. Nowadays, what's easier than using your Facebook cover photo? Your cover photo, for those of you who are fairly new, is that big image across the top of your Facebook page. And what you might not know is that Facebook has recently loosened their guidelines. What I mean by that is just months ago, you were not able to use that timeline cover photo to advertise. So you were not able to put an email address or website or any contact information for that matter. You were not able to add any pricing details or offers like 25% off. And most importantly, you were not able to do any kind of call to action, meaning you couldn't say, book your appointment now and put a URL for a website. All of that would have been against the guidelines. But Facebook now says you can do all of that. The only real rule left is that your cover photo cannot be more than 20% text. So this one is a little bit text heavy, but as long as the text doesn't cover more than 1/5 of your photo, you're good to go. I would personally recommend pictures of your frame selection and a picture of one of your doctors, maybe even pointing to the call to action button if you're feeling super cheeky. And you can also include something like a special discount for all first-time patients. Here are a few details you'll want to keep in mind. The perfect specs for a timeline cover photo are 151 by 315 pixels. When you actually change your timeline cover photo, you'll have the opportunity to go in there and edit the photo and add a status update as well. So if people were to click on your timeline cover photo, big light box pops up and they see the image and then they see your status update next to it on the right. You can see here Golden Optometric did not take advantage of this opportunity, but you can actually type in whatever you want. I would say type in a few more details about your practice and include a link that will take patients to your online scheduler, creating as many easy opportunities for patients to schedule with you. If it's a Facebook scheduler, that's even better. People feel more trust when they stay within Facebook. And then every time you update your cover photo, make sure you include a status update with it that includes a link to your scheduler and a really strong call to action. The great thing about uploading a timeline cover photo is that it gets out into the newsfeed, and when people see it in the newsfeed, they'll be able to see your status update, including the link to the scheduler as well. On top of that, if anyone likes that status, all of their friends will be able to see it too, which is actually a really great incentive to make sure that your cover photo is engaging. So really allow your practice to show its personality here. When I personally create marketing content on any platform, I use humor because that's what I found garners the most engagement and interaction for me. Luckily for me, the team at 4PC fully supports my tendency to use funny animals and or memes, and it fits into our image and company culture. This is something you need to think about for your practice. How do you want your patients to see you? And with that in mind, how can you entice them to interact with your Facebook page? Not just your cover photo, but all of your posts as well. Another update Facebook has recently made is the ability to create a call to action button directly on your cover photo. This allows patients to book appointments directly from your page without even having to scroll, which is great, and it's so simple to set up and for people to use. You'll see a button located in the bottom right corner of your cover photo called Create a Call to Action. From there, it's really straightforward. Just select Book Now from the drop-down menu. Input your web scheduling link in both website and mobile fields. Click Next. Select the iOS destination by selecting Website. Do the same thing with the Android destination, and that's it. Your call to action button should be created now. It's a very powerful strategy that's really, really easy to set up and can drastically increase your conversions, especially if it takes them to that real-time web scheduler. I mean, what have you got to lose there? So now that you have built your audience and made it easy for them to schedule an appointment with you, you're ready to use Facebook as one more way to remind patients of their annual exam. But how do you do this in Facebook? I'll tell you. So remember that custom audience. Custom audience is one of the most powerful marketing tools built into Facebook. To help give your patients that extra nudge to book their annual exam, simply do the following. So you every month create a Facebook custom audience containing the emails of all your patients that are due for an appointment. Upload that file to Facebook and create your custom audience. Create that 1200 by 444 pixel image. I would suggest honing in on that practice image you want to portray here. So, and then a small sentence saying something like, your vision is important. Don't let a year pass by without seeing your eye doctor. And then create a Facebook website conversion campaign. So this ad will only be seen by your patients that are due for that appointment. And then link that image to your online real-time web scheduler. When your patients click, they will be able to schedule an appointment in real time. All you have to invest is about $5 to $10 daily, and it's super easy and super effective. And that was a lot of information. If you liked that information, you want more information about Facebook, we have that link at the bottom of the screen. You can sign up for a free Facebook step-by-step strategy series that we're starting on September 5th, I believe. And you can get even more information with even more details and more step-by-step instructions on how to do everything. We did all the homework for you. You just got to follow through. And there's also my information there at the bottom. If you have any more questions after the Q&A or we don't get to something, you can reach out and I'm more than happy to answer any questions you might have. Yeah, that's all I got.
Great, great. So now we'd like to open it up for a question and answer session. So if anybody listening today has any questions, we encourage you to post them onto the WebEx. And we can answer those questions one at a time as they come through. We got a question from Joel Dorfan. He says, likes don't guarantee that, do not guarantee that they will see your post, ?
That is, so yeah, so that's something new with the organic reach. That's a lot of the reason why the organic reach is drastically down. So now if you're a page, so a business page, if you like their page, you will, sometimes it's really weird the way that the Facebook algorithm works, but sometimes it will show up on your feed. But if they want to consistently see your posts, they'll have to go onto your page and choose to be notified every time you post something, or they have to essentially follow you like they would on Twitter, which is why the ads are so important now, because if you're doing the ads, they will go out into the newsfeed and they will look the same as the content. If somebody does like a couple of your posts, then it's more likely that those posts will show up in their newsfeed in the future, but it doesn't guarantee anything, which is fairly new on Facebook, how they love to change things up on us.
Good. Emily Webster would like to know, what time of day is best to post on Facebook?
Yeah, that's a great question. That really depends on your target audience. So you can actually go in that insights page that I talked about earlier. You can see when you can test it. So test it for yourself. Usually for the pages I've managed, I found usually around noon, that's people's lunch breaks, and then around 4 or 5 o'clock have been the most successful for the pages I've managed. But that can also change depending on the audience that you're reaching, and everybody is going to be different. So you can test out. I would suggest you can schedule posts on Facebook. So I would suggest doing a couple of different things and then going into insights and seeing which ones have the best results, and then do that more.
So back to Joel Dorfan, he says, so it's not about getting lots of likes, more about custom audiences to advertise, new audiences outside your likes.
Yeah, so it is about, you do want to get that likes because, one, it's social proof. So if people are looking for a good practice, you want to be able to see, oh, this is a reputable practice, so it does look good for you. And since the algorithm will still send out your posts to the people that like you, the more likes you have, the more likely it is that your posts are going to get on people's news feeds. And then also, the more people that like you, then you can do ads for them and their friends. So again, it's about casting that wider net. More people like you, the more ads you can send out that are still like-minded people.
And Facebook is tracking views now as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it is. You can even see when people, like how many people have seen it too, which is pretty cool to see.
We've been using that a lot on the Perk Facebook, allowing doctors to go on and post questions, or if someone's looking for a frame or wants to crowdsource a solution to an issue that they're having. It's nice to go on there and look, and I can see, 45 people have viewed this item, and 10 or 20 have responded.
Yeah, and that's really cool too, because then you can see how much of a percentage is actually interacting with your posts too, which is nice.
Great. Any more questions, you guys? Oh, here we go. Can we email Brisa with specific questions? Absolutely. Her email is right on the question and answer page right now. You can email her or me if you have any other questions relating to this webinar or general perk questions. Oh, you have one more. How do you respond to negative comments on your page or remove them from the page?
That is a personal choice. Depending on what kind of negative content, if it's spam or something really rude, like cursing or something that could be really bad, then I would, yes, you can remove them, and you can also block them from posting on your page again. Or if it's just like, oh, kind of like a bad review, you have the option of just, being cordial, I'm sorry you had this problem. I'm sorry, let me fix this experience, and take the nicer route, and people can see how nice you are. So it really depends on how negative we're talking about.
Joel Dorfin would like to ask, how effective is post boosting instead of doing a custom ad?
That requires testing too. So that's very different for everybody. So I would do both, because it's about the same. If you do boost that post, then it will show up on more news feeds. It'll go kind of above the algorithm that kind of only sends it out to some. So the boost is actually quite nice, and you already know it's effective, right? So, because people liked it already. So I think they both have their own reasons. There's different reasons why you would use either. So the boosting, if it's really great content, then go for it. But if you're trying to garner more likes or trying to get something more targeted, like the recalls that I talked about, then the ads are the way to go.
I will say that they both have their own intended effects, and there is some crossover between the two. I know a lot of practices that actually experiment with doing both, and maybe doing one at one time of the year and one at another. It never really hurts to advertise as frequently as possible. I also know, just with post boosting, having done it before, it's really nice being able to you can tailor all of your posts to be boosted to people in your area. If you're doing a post that's related directly to women's sunglasses, you can tailor make it so that it's posting to female pages, that it maybe for people who have marked an interest in fashion on their personal profiles, and it pops up on their page as they're scrolling through their news feed. I get sucked in all the time with those Nordstrom ads.
I do too. All of them. Yeah.
We boost to, Joel Dorfin says, we boost to local zip codes with specials, back to school and use targeting for best penetration. Is this a good strategy?
That's a great strategy, absolutely, especially now. Yeah, anytime you have some special going on, then absolutely post like boosts and ads and everything. Boosts are great. They're really great because it also brings you directly to the page. Like the ads will bring you to the page, obviously, like when you do the likes, but the boost gets them to interact with your actual page, if that makes sense, and your content, which is it's really nice.
Any more questions, you guys? Let's see. We always link the boost to a landing page on our website, is what Joel said.
Mm-hmm. That landing pages are really great. If you have, sorry, say that again.
We always link the boost to a landing page on our website.
Got it. Yeah. So then it depends on what's on that landing page, right? You want to be able to get a conversion out of that. So if you're using a landing page, that's fine, but make sure you have some way on that page to capture that person that's going to that page. So whether it's getting their information, or usually I say do the the web scheduler, that's a really great way to do it. But then if not, always have some way that you have to capture them is the way you have to do it. That's the bottom line. You have to be able to capture their information.
Joel says, yes, we always have a strong call to action linked to the booth.
Yeah, that's great. That sounds like you're doing a great job, Joel.
Okay. Well, if anybody has any additional questions or concerns, please feel free to email Brisa directly, or you can email myself or anyone on the PERC staff. I'd also like to remind everyone who is listening in today that we have Vision Expo West coming up right around the corner. If you haven't signed up to participate in any of the PERC or IVA events that we will be hosting, please visit the website and do so. We're going to be having an open house luncheon, an interactive learning event, a cocktail reception, and we also have a free CE course on Friday. So please log into the website and register for those so we can get you and your space reserved. Brisa, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everybody.